Welcome back to the Banana Bunch. I hope you're ready for some penetration because we are testing out Germany's 8mm Mauser SMKH, otherwise known as the super armor-piercing round of World War II. Basically, if you were an Allied soldier that thought you were safe hiding behind armor, this bullet was your worst nightmare. And we're going to figure out how thick of a steel wall you would have needed to be hiding behind to stay safe. Luckily, most German soldiers would have been issued standard ball rounds, so let's see how thick of a piece of steel you would have needed to be hiding behind to stay safe 95% of the time. Okay, that gun is coming in way high into the left, but I don't think you're safe behind a 3/8 inch mild steel wall, that's for dang sure. How about a 1/2 inch mild steel wall though? Hopefully if I aim to the bottom right, that'll do the trick. I only have now I only have 2 ball rounds from back in the day. And thanks to EMACS Tactical for providing them. Oh man, today is your lucky day because a 1/2 inch mild steel wall definitely stopped that bullet. Let me get my... Ooh, wow, that feels pretty deep in there. Let's see how close the German was to getting you this time around. And we... Oh man, imagine hearing this hit right behind your head, not knowing if you made it or not, and then turning around to see this. Then they center another one right on this shot, and then it's the end of the ballgame. Nah, I'm just kidding. The chances of them being that accurate, especially in the battlefields of World War II, are like 1,000,000 to 1 or something crazy like that. But if a German soldier was using this bullet, the chances of you making it behind a 1/2 inch go down dramatically. This is Germany's 178 grain 8mm Mauser SMK minus CH. And no, SMK doesn't stand for Sierra Match King this time around. It stands for Spitzgeschoss mit Kern.
Spitzgeschoss mit Kern.
I was close. Well, close enough. Anyway, this may look like a standard ball round, but what's different from a standard ball round is that it has a hardened steel armor penetrator on the inside. Still nowhere close to as special as what's on the inside of the SMKH, but the thing is, these were a lot, and I mean a lot more common on the battlefield. So would you still make it behind a 1/2 inch? Damn, Germany, that is a pretty spicy sausage. Pretty much what a modern 308 will do out of a 24-inch barrel with a 178 grain bullet, so that, especially for being 80 years old, that is pretty freaking good. Unfortunately, I do not think you are safe behind a 1/2 inch wall, and apparently this one does not have the point of impact shift like the ball round, because I was aiming right here, almost right on the money. Let's check out, I guess we will see. Let me do the pinky test first. Yeah, not the best pinky test, but it's also a penetrator, so it's not very wide going in there.
That's what she said.
Let us see what... Oh yeah, you are definitely not safe behind a 1/2 inch. And I believe the next logical step up is a 5/8 inch piece of mild steel, or I should say a 5/8 inch steel wall. All right, as the Germans say, guten tight. I don't know if something got loose or what's going on, but I am destroying Steel Sled 4.2. The last one was a partial hang fire, like it was just ever so slightly of a delay. That was weird. But then these two hit ultra high. I didn't even see where that one hit, but I took out a giant chunk of Steel Sled 4.2, hit right here, and then smashed right into the one below it. The only good thing about these shot placements is that I'll be able to reuse this plate, but anyway, it even looks like the hang fire one was right on the post. Let us check out and see if you were safe behind a 5/8 inch piece. Oh, okay. I think the only reason it stopped though is because it ate into the AR-500. Like, holy shiteballs, and most of the tip isn't even there. So who knows where the hell that went to? I'm gonna say you are definitely not safe behind a 5/8 inch mild steel wall. Guess that brings us to a 3/4 inch mild steel wall. And guys, I can't keep destroying Steel Sled 4.2, so I'm jumping up to a larger piece of steel, and we'll just put it up against this wall right here that an armor piercing round should go right through both. Let us hope for the best. Oh, you've got to be shitting me. I don't know if you can see that little bit of movement there or not, but it is definitely loose. I'm not sure what it's loose on because I tightened everything down really good, used Loctite and everything. Future Banana here. I came home to find that this pin could be pushed either direction with relative ease, and I was like, that's weird. I installed everything correctly, torqued everything down correctly, went on and checked one of the screws, and it was ever so slightly loose. So I was like, what in the hell is going on here? Took everything apart and found out that the culprit was this very thin piece of steel that bent ever so slightly, which caused the screw to loosen ever so slightly, and my shots to be off target more than ever so slightly. That was a pretty big mess up.
That wouldn't have happened if you were using iron sights.
Really surprised how consistent these are being over 80 years old. Our average appears to be 25-65 about. The only bad thing about the larger plates is that they fall over almost every time, so I can't see if I actually hit it or not, so fingers crossed. And I see a fresh, clean hole. Let's make sure that I didn't overlap it with any of the other rounds. Oh yeah, definitely a fresh new hole. And unfortunately, you would not be safe behind a 3/4 inch mild steel wall. That is pretty freaking impressive. That's a 50 BMG right there. Oh, and where are my manners? Yeah, I mean, that's a little bit better than before. Now we're getting into the super impressive territory, because this is a 1-inch piece of mild steel, or should I say the steel wall that you're going to be hiding behind. As you can see, this thing is an absolute beast. Unfortunately, I have all three grouped right in the middle, so hopefully that doesn't affect us with where we're placing the shots on the 8mm. But let us see what happens. And thank you to Checkmate Mags, by the way, for helping make these videos worth doing. Unfortunately, the 8mm Mauser that I'm using does not use magazines, but if I could somehow put one on there, you better bet that Checkmate Mags will be at the top of my list. They're the OEM for some of the top dogs out there. They're made right here in the US, and they have a very, very good warranty, so I don't know what there isn't to like. So if you enjoy watching these videos, or if you enjoy making fun of these videos, that's fine too. I would just really appreciate if you supported Checkmate Mags, because they help make these videos possible. So about 25-55 feet a second, a steel armor penetrator, carry the 4. I honestly don't know what's going to happen. Now, I really don't know what to expect, and guys, I'll let you know that I did have 2 failure to fires. Both of them, holy shit, there was a massive bug. Lost my train of thought there, but anyway, both of them did have very good primer strikes, so be extremely cautious if you're shooting ammo that's 80+ years old. Well, actually be extremely cautious if you're shooting any ammo at all. I believe I see, yeah, that's a brand new bullet hole right there. Well, I shouldn't say hole because it didn't go through the 1-inch plate, but let's check out the, ooh, wow, wow. Okay, so the penetrator definitely popped out, but you are safe behind a 1-inch plate, you lucky dog. The weird thing is that the Germans made a brass case version of the SMK that we were just shooting, but they also made a steel case version. Same bullets, same everything. Well, I don't know about same everything, but how about before we jump to the super penetrator, we see if this one's loaded any hotter. Right in the mix. Definitely not loaded any hotter though, if not a few feet a second slower. So that's probably a no. Hopefully I made a good hit though. Man, I am a rhyming wizard. Oh yeah, definitely not a good hit. It looks like it blew right out the side. Let's just check out the front and see what, yeah. I was aiming right here, so I am hoping that we get some good shots with the super penetrator. Based on the velocity though, even if it did hit in the meteor area, it definitely would not have went through, just like the brass case version. And I also have another video where it did not go through a 1-inch piece of steel, so there's that. But the super penetrator here is supposedly going around 400 feet a second faster while featuring a around 20 grain heavier projectile. According to Buffman Range, who was nice enough to send these ultra rare bullets over, these are going up to 2,950 feet a second.
So what?
That is stout 300 Win Mag levels of muzzle energy out of a much smaller cartridge.
Oh.
And a massive bump in velocity isn't all we gain though, because this bullet right here features a tungsten carbide core, which is not only harder than the steel core that we were shooting in the SMK, it was born for penetration.
Kinda like your wife's boyfriend.
Hey, we agreed not to go there. Anyway, the core is so hard that Buffman Range shot it at ceramic body armor, and I won't ruin the results, but they were freaking insane. I'll have that video linked down below. But let's figure out if you were safe behind a 1-inch mild steel wall. And in order to give us the best hit probability possible, I am jumping to a new 1-inch piece of mild steel, because I am not taking any chances. I just need to figure out which one of these rounds are the SMKH real quick. Actually, could you help me point out which one of these are the SMKH? Probably not, because like a bunch of dumbass, the Germans designed 3 different bullets that look the exact same. I mean, the only features that help differentiate these bullets on the outside are different color primers, as well as a head stamp with an S and a star afterward. Other than that, you're shit out of luck. I mean, sure, they made silver and black versions like the one that I was holding, but if you had to identify them quickly, I can just imagine how many major mix-ups there were back then. Here's to hoping there aren't any mix-ups with how overpressured these things are, and that I actually hit the plate. That's the key as well. I looked over and saw over 3,000 feet a second, and I was like, holy shiteballs. Keep in mind, these were loaded in 1940, and the recoil was surprisingly mild for what's essentially a powerful 300 Win Mag load. That's one thing that I like about these old guns, though, is that they don't have any recoil pad, so you really feel like a man when you're shooting. But I hit the plate, so I mean, that's a good first start, right? And indeed, I did hit the plate. I am very glad that I stepped it up from a 6x6 to a 10x10, though, because that was nowhere at all where I was aiming. But obviously, it went straight through a freaking inch of mild steel. Holy shiteballs, let me get my pinky. Oh yeah, that's about as bad as the SMK on the half-inch plate. But that probably means good things for stepping up the thickness to an absolute chunk of steel. This is 1¼ inches, and guys, let me tell you, you'd probably have to be in a tank to be hiding behind anything this thick. Maybe an aircraft carrier as well, but this is a freaking massive chunk of steel. I think we have all the correct ingredients for some spectacular results, so as long as I can make the shot, we should be good. So let me make the shot. Still above 2950. I just didn't see the plate go down, so hopefully I hit it. Well, unless I centered it on that other bullet, things are not looking good. It kind of looks like I hit high, and yeah, I think I hit high, which is very surprising because I was aiming all the way down here. Oh, that scope base is all sort of whacked up. You know what? Let's just step it up to 1.5 inches because based on everything that I've seen, tungsten carbide core, 3,000 feet a second, it would have went through 1.25 inches. But 1.5 inches is the one that I'm really curious about, and I only have 2 more of these rounds. Sorry for wasting one of them, Buffman range, but anyway, let us get this 1.5 inch piece down here, and we will see, son of a, we will see if it can handle this absolute chunk. I am going to be so disappointed if this scope causes me to miss with another round. Oh, and by the way, this will be the black version this time.
What's that supposed to mean?
29.55, we are still cooking. And I hit the plate, hopefully in a good spot. Oh, thank you, Lord. Thank you. I believe I did hit in a good spot. And wait a second, there's no freaking way. Is that a tiny little hole? My gosh, that penetrator was close to going through, it looks like. I mean, how the hell did that poke a tiny hole in the backside of 1.5 inches with an 8mm Mauser, guys? That is freaking insane performance. I mean, sure, you're safe, but you're at least crapping your pants if you're inside a tank and you look up and see that hole. I mean, is that not the most impressive World War II bullet you've ever seen? Because that is the most impressive World War II bullet that I've ever seen. Hopefully you'll check out some of my other insane testing videos, and remember, don't let ballistics drive you bananas.